Morning, Bega. Good morning, our audience out there. I hope you have a nice weekend.
Yes, I'm certain they are. And their weekend is even about to get much better with this enriching conversation. But let me start from here. The last time you were here for an interview, you were introduced as the Labour Party governorship candidate in Ogun State. So, can you shed some light
Yes,
as
I'm
to
still the Labour Party gubernatorial candidate for Ogun State. Nothing has changed. We're still in the race. And there might be some issues, little issues with the party and the INEC listing. But we've done our primaries and then emerged as the winner. And they have the ticket of the party. So all the administrative issues will still be,
so
will still be
are you
resolved.
confident you'll be on the ballot?
Very confident. Very, very
So,
confident
what
about
are
that.
these issues do you
It's not.
want
It's not
to?
that. It has to do with filing. What do you call it? Uploading the form on the portal. You know the way technology is, and because this is elections and a lot of issues are involved, you have to then go through some processes to get yourself into that.
But is that window not closed?
It's not closed. It's still very much open.
All right. So I would like us to talk about the issue of the 2023 election. You have been around politics as an appointee before now, but now you are in the race, per se. So, what are some new observations or what are the new things that you've now seen now that you are in the race as a, governorship candidate yourself?
Okay, thank you very much. One is the fact that politics is actually changing. The polity is changing and politics is changing. And the regulation is also changing. So you see a new interest, particularly of a generation in the political game. And so the dynamics are actually changing. That new interest is showing that almost between 65 and 70% of the population is now between the ages of 18 and 40. And they have now shown so much interest in how the country is being governed. They are seeing that if they don't intervene or they don't participate, they would. The country may not be what they are seeing. The country, the direction the country is going, is not going to serve their future, even their present and their future. So a whole lot of dynamics is coming in terms of how you reach them, what they are expecting to have, the political organizations that they are aligning with, and even INEC, the regulators are actually then defining new rules, new more responsibility I can see that's coming from them because they say once they say see something's going to happen on a particular day, it must happen on that day. PVCs are collected, the registers are published on time, timetables are published, so you can see a new sense of responsibility and a new sense of awareness of the people. Not just even the youth now, everybody. The politics now demanding more accountability, demanding more service. They are now aware more almost instantly of what's going on. So it's not a question of those days where we had that something is happening. Something happened yesterday, everybody has known. Technology is there, the media is there. And so there's a heightened level of awareness. So people can't be deceived that much again. And then you can always corroborate your information from various sources. So it's we expect more political maturity. People are more informed about the choices that they're going to make. And and you can also see now that it's not so much about noise. It's almost 6 weeks now that they've lifted the ban on campaigns, but you can't see really a lot of tension that I used to see those days where people move around with dogs and all of that. It's not issues. Politics is now more about issues. The issues are clear. The economy is bad. There is insecurity in the town, in the city, or in the country. The education is not what it used to be. There's unemployment. Everybody knows what the issues are. And so it's like, what's going to be new? What are you going to tell me? How are you going to address it? So, and you can see growing dissatisfaction with the existing, what I call political settings, the existing dominant political settings. There's a gradual reduction in what I call token politics, where it is what you distribute here and there is what people align to. People are asking you, is that going to be what will feed me for the next 4 years? So people are now looking at issues more dispassionately. They are getting more informed, and their decisions are known to them, and they are aligning with those decisions. Some people still play the old politics, they will go around and make a lot of noise. But people that are very discerning and strategic, are playing it in a very strategic way. You see new formations, new ways of even canvassing people. Engagements are coming up. Consultations are going out. People are now turning to, those days used to be rally, now it's about million matches. You see a lot of engagements here and there. So it's getting interesting. And you expect that in 21 years of, no more than 21 years now, maybe that since 99, it's about 22 years of politicking. And the responsibility of politicians themselves is also supposed to be getting up. We're supposed to be more matured politically now. And it's going to be really defining other rules around politics. I think the emphasis now is going to be more on what we call electoral quality and electoral integrity, making sure and people are not just even focused. There's even people are not just focused on the day of the election. They are looking. A lot of what we are seeing now is what they call pre-election politics, party politics itself, the process itself, the issues around candidature, issues around the candidates themselves, and the issues of governance, and then so it's not too much about vote rigging, my ballot snatching, and people are reasonably assured that violence is even significantly reduced. So we have so much, and it's cherry, and that's what's even making people like us, who are not normally politicians, to say we want to play, because we see that it's now a fertile ground, a conducive environment for us to play, and to play the kind of politics we think it should be, which is politics of ideas and issues, of politics of development, politics of economics, politics of people, politics of service delivery, and host of things like that.
All right. So you've talked about this political season being more issue-based. And just to let you know that we are streaming live on Facebook, so you can join this conversation there. Maybe questions, comments, contributions. WhatsApp is also available, 817-555-1067. That's the WhatsApp line. So what are the issues in Ogun State as things stands now?
Yeah, thank you very much. I think the main issue with Ogun State is the speed and rate of development. One issue, and the other is the quality of leadership. And then things around service to the people, the people's expectations. I'll take them one by one. Service to the people, and then the environment itself. You see, the environment, how conducive that environment is for development, true, genuine development. So I'll take it one by one. The first one is about the rate of development and scale of development. I've been involved in the policy of Nigeria and even that of the state since 2000. This is 1999, because I got this much awareness from 1993. Really, when Abiola, that's what for our own generation, that's when Abiola was the one that triggered all of us. About 1993, we had so much hopes and we lost it, so we just felt never again. And so when 1999 came, there was a lot of expectation that it should happen, that we wanted politics to be, our governments and politics to be, and I was involved since then. So at the early stages of my involvement, I did quite a lot of work with Lagos State. Being a professional, the governor then, now the candidate for APC, invited a lot of professionals to come in, and I participated, not as an appointee, but as a consultant and a resource person. And I can see the trajectory of growth of Lagos. I know where Lagos was then, and I know where it is now. And even it was those elements of development, triggers of development that had been planted in Lagos, even before Tinubu, probably by Jakonde and Mobolaji Johnson. And I inform people like us to say, well, if this is happening in Lagos, Ogun State is very close to Lagos. Let us come to Ogun State and see whether we can replicate that. And that's why I joined the movement of Otumba Gbenga then. And we said, look, let us awaken the sleeping giants. And we sleep. And because we thought then, what we come to Ogun State to do, Abeokuta to do, was to just come for burial, weddings, and weekends, and come and see our parents, and just go back to Lagos. But we felt, can we not make Ogun State a place to be, a place to work, a place to live, a way to get good quality of life and all of that? And that was influenced that movement that we supported, which did then. And then a lot of are put in place. It was part of the manifesto, part of the blueprints and all of that. So I knew particularly comparatively, I knew the development agenda. I knew the development agenda of Lagos. So we can say, can we replicate it? Either replicate or also create another one for Ogun State. And that's what we did in that. After addressing what I call the hygiene issues of governance then, which is people don't have jobs, the roads are not good, and people don't get, they don't have jobs, people don't get to school. In fact, people don't know that then. We had a lot of idle youths who, because of of limited opportunities to get into university, they couldn't get into. So we had to address a lot of that, so opening new opportunities for them, new universities, new colleges of technology. So you just have something to do. And that really, and then encourage them to sports, and then did all of what we call human capital development, where quite a lot of, and then make the economy lively, interesting, and then do another form of politics. You see, at that time, that old time, the politics was still more of the politics pre-1999, particularly in Ogun, was more of violence and all of that. But we introduced what I call social politics, social engineering and politics, where you now carry drums, you have musicians, there is raffle draw. People now began to identify with politicians, identify to be politicians. Because then people used to think that politicians are people who don't have much to do. But because of the nature of the way people play politics then, and the way we canvass for votes, and the way we pursue government policy, it was more inclusive, integrative, and social. And that's heightened the interest of people in politics. And that was going concomitantly with projects that they can see. And employment agencies are rising, jobs are being created, projects that they never thought would be created quickly are being done. And so it was and that stirred a lot of people. For me, apart from that participation, which direction are we taking people? In fact, that's really what got me involved now. I was part of the regional master plan for state. So apart from being in budget and planning, there had not been it was a plan, but it was not that futuristic. We were doing 3-year cycle plan. But with the manifesto, trying to implement the manifesto, we realized that we need to give what they call perspective planning, long-term planning, tied to our vision. What kind of state do we want to create? An economic hub that would leverage on the human capital, that would leverage on the location to create something that will even rival Lagos. We will have the parallel of what we call the New Jersey, the New York phenomenon. New Jersey, New York. Both of them are developed. New York is very active, but New Jersey is also quite active. That's what we wanted Ogun State to be. And that plan was also supposed to do that. You see that close to Lagos, we created what we call a gateway city that will begin to compare a gateway city. We got the company called the Gateway City Development Corporation that will begin to do things that will compare with Lagos, so that you don't really feel that you are in Ogun State. And then we wanted to create a buffer zone. Then we had to create what they call economic zones, economic clusters, new things that people never thought would happen in Ogun State before, thinking about airports, about seaports, LNG plants, things that were just trailblazing that will actually create a new economy. Because when we analyzed the economy of Lagos and say what was driving the economy, apart from being federal capital before, and now trying to be now Lagos State capital, the major driver for Lagos was the ports. It was Lagos, the Apapa port and the other Tinkan port. And that's why people trading and all of that can be facilitated. We said, what can then begin be the driver for the economy of Ogun State? So that we thought about in the Olokola deep sea port. We found that through research that they look at the deepest point, and it could allow for big ships to berth, and that would stimulate a lot of economy on that side. We also we created what we called a connected infrastructure, which this government tried to do now. The airport what do they call it now? I've forgotten the name, at Remo. So then tied to free trade zones. It was only our state that had 2 free trade zones, or 2 or 3. One at Igbesa, one at Olokola, the other one at very close to Papa. So all those was to begin to stimulate a new economy, to create a new state. And then we also introduced a lot of technology. We created the Southwest Resource Center, trained a lot of people connected to, so that people can build so much skills. And because here we also have the highest number of tertiary institutions in Nigeria. So we saw the potential of human capital, created a new university for the first university of education in Nigeria. So a whole lot of things to stimulate, to beef up that economy in various dimensions. And everybody could feel it. It gave a lot of room for local governments to operate. They were creating their projects. They were competing with projects here and there. And, in the first 4 years was quite interesting. There was a lot of valve, a lot of energy, a lot of hope for the people. And then the following 4 years, because of, people thought it was magic. Something's happening here. A lot of people had interest. And start seeing then political intrigues coming up. And then that's towards the end, all the crises in the House of Assembly, and eventually we lost the election. We were expecting that the succeeding government will continue with that trajectory of growth and development. So what we found out was that it was probably more regressive. It was more sectional. You see a lot of concentration probably in the capital or in the part of the country, of the state, and then the other people are neglected and all of that. And unfortunately, it ran for 8 years. And the people, we challenged it one way or the other with other, and that was more on the background, just creating strategy and developing plans to make sure that we still go back to our trajectory of growth. But it wasn't a very, very positive. And that's one thing that I think Ogun State has actually lost, that benefit of continuity. But if somebody understands the development concept and put it in place, if another government comes in and does not see, it sees that as another tenure. Governance is a continuity. If you don't see development as a continuity and governance as a continuity, and you see my regime, and okay, this person has done this, and you cancel it and go and do another one, then development will be retarded. And that's what Ogun State has actually witnessed. Because the benefit that Lagos State has had is they've had continuity. They built on, Fashola built on Tinubu, Ambode built on Fashola. Someone is not building on what they have now. And you see, clear case is that look at two corridors, the Lekki corridor and the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway corridor. At the same time, like I was involved in this because I did some work for LSDPC at that time. The last point of any development, they just cleared Morocco at that time. The last point of any development was movie station, maybe station close to the head of Lekki Expressway was just Lekki, not anything happened. The same thing, last point for Ogun State was Baga. Can you compare the Lekki corridor today with the Lagos-Ibadan corridor? Wild world of difference. And they still have, they don't have that much good land as we have. And so, and we started almost the same thing. Lekki created phase 1, and they were moving to phase 2, and they were opening up Ajah and the rest of them. We created Gateway City. Gateway City development, started allocating land in the area and all of that, created the buffer zone and all of that. And we expect that will continue. Yeah. So you can see now, Ogun State is still looking like, from that perspective, like the backwater Lagos. For those of us who are part of that kind of planning, we know what we're driving at, we will not be happy. That's one. When you look at even education, even the ICT, we saw this as a state. This state as a state for the digital revolution was coming on, and my boss used to say then that we lost out of the other economic revolutions. We should not lose out of the digital revolution, and we responded immediately because we saw what was happening that could happen there. So we went straight into the technology arena. I actually wrote the technology policy at that time and suggested the creation of the Ministry of Education, Science and Technology. And also facilitated the Southwest Resource Center where we were training people and all of that. And also encouraged secondary schools to go into technology. And the succeeding government forgot about technology completely. I had to come back later to this state to set up the first innovation hub because I saw that we cannot miss out of that economy. This digital economy that we're in today. So brought Google here, brought a lot of OEMs here, and began to train on my own people. I trained 10,000 people to get into the Google digital skills, and then we went to Microsoft, we went to quite a lot of other products, just to to activate our youth into. And I like what is happening now. We created a new tech community. I created a digital economy advisory board. I even advised this government, the incompetent government, on what to do with technology. I wrote some of the plan for them to convert those schools that were built by the previous government into technology hubs. They did only one. I told them to do 4, so that we can harness the abundant talents and potential of our people, according to drive in this economy that we're in today. So it's when you see those opportunities for growth, that's not happening. Look at sports. We had the best sports festival. We call it Gateway Games, like 2016. Country that stimulated the whole economy of the state. We built 4 stadia. I mean, what's the state of all of them today? Do you know the kind of income and economy that can come from sports? So when you see that sports, that's technology. So that's even physical development. So then I look at, this is not the Ogun State of my dream. I would not be glad to be 70 or 80, and we cannot realize those things we had when this democracy started. I tried as much as possible to advise this government, to intervene, to participate, but I realized that they were running a very close government that was not focused on people development as such. It's a show, what I call showman politics, theatrics, optics, what you can see, paint classes yellow, do city gates, all of that. That is not what our people need to acquire skills, acquire sources of wealth that they can, so that will make the economy survive and thrive. And if you don't have all of that, educational system was not that fantastic. And I just begin to see that no, we can't leave this happening. Posterity will not forgive us, particularly for some of us who have invested a significant part of our productive life towards serving this state. To see it that we now say, oh, we're gone at those days. Yeah, it was when this happened that we had good something. Let us intervene this time, and and see what we can do about it. And before you know it, things happened. When you have good intentions, other things happen to support you. Right. Things happened with the Labour Party, and then we began the OB and everything. That's
we'll get to the rest of the conversation and also take 1 or 2 calls. I see a message on WhatsApp. Ashwaju Adisa from Abeokuta. We'll get to that as well. But we have to proceed on a commercial break now. We say I have Honorable Kehinde Shogun there, a chartered accountant, a management consultant, and he has said the governorship candidate, though INEC still disagrees for now, but hopefully, like you said, all of the administrative issues will be sorted and we'll have you back on the ballot. But stay with us. We'll be back after this time out.
Iléeṣẹ́ àgbájọwọ́ Classy Homes and Properties ló ń sọ wípé kò sí kékeré akàn tí ò nílé lórí o. Ẹ wá jàǹfààní ìdá 50% lórí gbogbo ilẹ̀ wọn. Sanwó òlàjì kò sì gba odindi plot ilẹ̀ kan lẹ́sẹ̀kẹsẹ̀. Ilẹ̀ wọn ti ń bẹ ní Kọ́bápẹ́. Tòun high level city tó wà ní Ramda 200,000 naira ní tẹ́lẹ̀. Ní báyìí 100,000 naira lẹ́sàn. Hilltop estate tí wọ́n ti ń bẹ ní Ìkẹrẹ̀kú Ìdàn Ramda 300,000 naira ní tẹ́lẹ̀. 150,000 lẹ́sàn. Bushi estate ń bẹ lóṣìẹ̀lẹ̀ 600,000 naira níyẹn tẹ́lẹ̀. 300,000 naira lẹ́sàn. Ilẹ̀ tún sì ń bẹ ní Diore. Ó sì ń bẹ lọ́bàdà oko. Bẹ́ẹ̀ sì rèé gbogbo àwọn ilẹ̀ tẹ́ ẹ bá rà láǹfààní àti jẹ̀bùn lórí rẹ̀. Tẹlifíṣàn bẹ́ẹ̀ àgbò wà, màálù wà, àpò rẹsì náà sì wà. Àwọn ilẹ̀ oko wọn tó wà ní Kọ́bápẹ́, tó wà lóṣìẹ̀lẹ̀, tó wà lálábàtà àti mọ́lọ́gẹ̀dẹ̀ 50,000 naira là ń tà á tẹ́lẹ̀. Ní báyìí 25,000 naira lẹ́sàn-án. Ra plọ̀tì mẹ́ta kó o sì gba ìdajì plọ̀tì sí. Ra éèkà kan kó o tún gba plọ̀tì kan sí lọ́fẹ̀ẹ́. 070-4464-8338 070-4464-8338.
Ogúnjọ́ oṣù kọkànlá làǹfààní yóò parí o.
Ó tún ti wọlé dé o gbogbo èèyàn ó yá ní Ideri Union Congress 2022. Àkànṣe ìpéjọpọ̀ lọ́dọọdún nínú ìṣòro làbìlákà ọlọ́jọ́ méje gbáko tólúwa gbé kalẹ̀ lábẹ́ ìmísí tó ga jù fún gbogbo ọmọ Ọlọ́run pátá. King of Glory ọba ògo ni àkòrí ẹ̀. Ideri Union Congress tọdún yìí yóò máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti Sunday ọjọ́ 13 sí Friday ọjọ́ 18 November 2022 lórí òkè ìdìdí àánú ọba tó tó nígbà tó wà ní ní ẹlẹ́gà àbòdì olúdé ọlọ́run tẹ̀dó community fàdágé road abẹ́òkúta Ògùn state eléyìí tí CAC mercy district olómọ̀rẹ́ zone SCR region ń pè gbogbo ènìyàn sí. ọ̀pọ̀ àwọn àgbà ìránṣẹ́ ọlọ́run alààyè àti kò lóǹkà àwọn olórin ẹ̀mí ni yóò ṣiṣẹ́ ìránṣẹ́ pẹ̀lú bàbá wa tí wọ́n tún jẹ́ olùgbàlejò evangelist Joseph O Akinloye aka ọmọọba tuntun nígbà Eden Anointing service láwọn fi káàdì ohun gbogbo nílẹ̀ Sunday 20 November aago 10 àárọ̀. Pastor Olúwẹ̀yẹ Bíòkín SCR region superintendent lálejò pàtàkì ọjọ́ náà nígbà tí evangelist D.O. Ajayi SCR region revivalist sì jẹ́ olùgbàlejò àgbà níbẹ̀. Maiden Reunion Congress 2022 yìí ayé rẹ̀ ò ní rí bákan náà mọ́. Jésù Olúwa.
ní láti sọ fún gbogbo ènìyàn wípé ilẹ̀ kan tó wà ní ọlọ́jọ́ village my sis ajibọ road nítòsí OGTV Abẹ́òkúta ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn tí wọ́n rà láti máa fi dáko jẹ́ ti àwọn Association of Senior Staff of Banks, Insurance and Financial Institutions ASBF. àgbẹ̀ ipò àwọn onílé agbègbè yìí wọ́n ti ń ta ilẹ̀ yìí fún àwọn ènìyàn. ẹ wá gbọ́ o ẹnikẹ́ni tó bá rà nínú ilẹ̀ yìí ó sanwó sígbó àtúnmí a ò ta ilẹ̀ oko yìí fẹ́nikẹ́ni o ilẹ̀ ẹgbẹ́ ni gbogbo ìwé ẹ̀rí ilẹ̀ náà tó dájú ló sì wà lọ́wọ́ ẹgbẹ́ torí náà mo sì bá wọn rà nínú ilẹ̀ yìí tó o bá ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ ọ̀sọ̀wó nù ni o ìwọ tó o bá sì ti rà nínú ilẹ̀ yìí yà á dágbére fún ilẹ̀ náà torí kì í ṣe ilẹ̀ rẹ. ilẹ̀ oko ASBF ó lọ́wọ́ ìjọba nínú ìkìlọ̀ rẹ o láti ọ̀dọ̀ ASBF.
You wan ride brand new keke or okada dey make money? Oh yeah na, the ogbonge people wey dey Max go give you cha-cha, make you dey pay small. Hurry now to get a brand new keke or okada with zero down payment. Simply come down to Max office at Ajibola Flash House, Kuforiji, Olubi Drive, Adigbe.
àṣeyọrí gan làgbà iṣẹ́ gbogbo aláṣeyọrí ayọ̀ aláṣeyọrí Classy Home and Property Limited lónìí ọ̀pọ̀ ilẹ̀ wọn ti di wámútì rẹ báyìí lórí owó tí gò ga ju ara lọ. Randa extension hilltop máwùkọ́ àti kọ̀bàpẹ́ 100,000 ní plọ̀tì yìí bẹ́ẹ̀ sì ni lóko wọn ti di ọ̀pọ̀ yòókẹ́ mo lọ́kẹ̀dẹ̀ 25,000 ní plọ̀tì kan bẹ̀ kọ̀bàpẹ́ alábàtà òṣèlè 30,000 ní plọ̀tì ẹ̀ra plọ̀tì mẹ́ta kẹ́ẹ̀gbá ìdajì sí i bó sì jẹ́ ékàlẹ́ra òdìdí lẹ́gbàsí pẹ̀lú ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àǹfààní tẹ́ẹ̀jẹ̀ lórí ilé oko wọn torí pé àwọn onírà àti onímọ̀ ìjìnlẹ̀ ti wà níkàlẹ̀ láti là ń lọ́yẹ̀ lórí kan tẹ́ẹ̀gbì sí ilé oko tẹ́ ẹ bára 4 Mọ̀túndì Abíọ́lá way Ilego Daily Express furniture ni wọ́n wà Ọlọ́ṣogbo Abẹ́òkúta Ògùn State 08033086557 08033086557. lóòótọ́ àṣeyọrí gan làgbà iṣẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ ń bá ń bá wa ná dandan ní kẹ́ ẹ láṣeyọrí ayọ̀ lọ́dọ̀ tiwa.
20 oṣù kọkànlá làǹfààní yìí ó parí o.
We educate. That's why we are respected. We inform. That's why we are loved. More music. We are the best. The Integrity Station. Splash.
106.7.
Welcome back to the chat on Splash 106.7 FM, the Integrity Station. We have with us in the studio this morning, Honorable Kehinde Shogunle. There are quite a number of comments on Facebook. But before we get to the cause, what do you intend to do differently if the people of Ogun State decide and trust you with their votes?
Okay, thank you very much. You see, we got to take things to a very high level. Very scaled level. I call it what I call a Buga government. Everybody talks about Buga. We talk about VUCA and then Buga. VUCA is we have a volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous environment. But we want to make it be bold, do something that is bold, that is unstoppable, that is good, audacious. See, we have everything it takes to be a very great state. And what we're saying is that let us harness all the energies we have and all the resources we have, both local and international, to do very bold things. One of the first things that is concern of everybody that will create real enabling environment is security. And I think we are not addressing security as intelligently as possible. This is the era. That's the digital era, and we always think it's all about combat. AK-47 and those kind of vehicles and all of that, and leaving it to the police and whatever to do. A state government itself can deploy so much intelligence into using its people, into making sure that the place is secure. Intelligence plus technology. I don't need to go into the details, but you know what it means. It starts from knowing who people are, knowing every location, overseeing every location. Technology can make that available. And because of our understanding, our connection locally and internationally, that you can make. You cannot drop a pin. And I know that it's possible. I've done it before. I cannot drop a pin. One's life cannot be lost without you knowing. And you don't know how it can. It's happening everywhere in the world. Why is it not happening here? But we are thinking that, okay, it has to be the traditional structure. People will talk about local policing or state policing, but no. But if the government does that, and that I can assure you that will happen. Because without security, every other thing we are doing, building is building on nothing. The second one is people. People have to be energized to contribute to development. The economy cannot grow if the people are not strong. Strong in terms of capacity, in terms of health, in terms of their potential. And we have so much young people here. We have the institutions there. We need to then begin to build people who can see themselves competent to address challenges in their environment and anywhere in the world. The opportunities are available. We've done quite a bit then, but we can do a lot more now. And it's even faster. You can acquire knowledge. We need to build into our educational system, not just the normal certificates that people are getting. Things that will give them entrepreneurship education, that will give them solution orientation. And then the experience for them to start working, even from age 16 or 17. It happens everywhere. Back it up with a lot of mentorship, internship, and all of that, so that everybody participates in creating a population that works. When you are doing that, you are indirectly contributing to the economy. And it's the economy base that generates IGR or taxes that you want to go. But build people to be globally relevant. Even to the point of it is possible, become the human capital of Nigeria. We have the higher institutions there. The world is looking for talent. Talent in every aspect of life. Nursing, medicine, technology, anywhere. Build them such that they can compete with the best of the world. And the world will start looking for them. That's what India did. When we don't look for doctors today, we go to Cuba. There is a new wave of capital, a new wave of economy that's coming out. We call it the brain capital. We call it brain experts. It's not just JAPA. It is preparing people not only to serve yourself here, and also serve anywhere in the world. And I know Ogun State people, for what they have done themselves, if supported by government, can make that happen. And this is where we're going to connect so much with our people in diaspora. We have the best organization. I've traveled to the US, for everywhere. We have Ogun State people have the best Nigerian organizations in the world. The Abeokuta, the Western Union, the Egba, the diaspora, they are there. Don't the Ijebus are there. When they come home for you, you see how they are. So you see the Yewa people, you see how they are. How do we attract them to come and work here so that they can create opportunities for our people? Because we don't think about the local economy. We need to think about what they call the global Ogun agenda. We are in a global age now. So we are not just thinking we are here with this geography. No, we are a global people. And how do we connect the global people to the local players? Well, it requires connection and some education and capacity. That is on the world capital development. And there's a lot of things that will flow from there. How the schools will be, how the kind of interventions that we need to put in place to go to the program. But that Israelis are doing it. The Chinese are doing it. The Japanese are doing it. The Indians are doing it. It's not by accident that the Indians are cornering every aspect of the world economy. That the Israelis are it's because they designed an agenda of creating a consciousness and awareness of capacity for their people. So that is one area, human capacity development. The other part is infrastructure. Critical infrastructure has to be dealt with. Somebody was telling me today that the water mass we have in Ogun State today is more than what we have in the history, and even the desert. And that if we harness those water mass alone, Ogun River and all of them, we can provide water, potable water for our people. But we are not thinking. Electricity, we have working with us people that have done power plants in the world. I have working with me very directly now. One of the best, let's say 20 in Africa that is doing power plants in the world. An indigenous of Ogun State. And saying, look, what is the problem with us with power? So that's the rail or transportation. We are focusing on road. We are locked in to get to Lagos now. If you go to Lagos now, it's 3 hours. Why can't we explore intracity rail? Think about the interchange as a hub. One going to Djibouti or to up to Ogbere. One go to Lagos, to Baga. One go to get in Ibadan. One go to Ilaro and one come to Abeokuta. It is the ability to mobilize the capital to do it. And what creates the capital? It's credibility. One of the first things that people like us, one of the things that we are putting on the table is credibility. I was in government for 8 years. I was never indicted for any financial malpractice. And that record is there. Today, I'm one of the best 10 public financial managers in Nigeria. So if you put that kind of credibility on the table, you know the amount of capital I can attract for big projects. We are not going to be talking about small projects now. So when we talk about infrastructure, we know where the money is going to be. Because one thing I learned from the government then was that, look, people, instead of looking at local sources for getting money, build yourself, build the credibility and the capacity to attract enough capital to drive what you want to drive. So water, energy, then buildings. That's also true. If you can attract capital, the one way to can get jobs, we see what we have seen in Nigeria, and I see how it happened in Lagos or in Abuja, is that do we have estates that are attractive, that people who are wealthy, who are thriving, or even for the low income, can live decently in Ogun State, anywhere? I was part of the master plan for LSDPC in Lagos. I was the one that led the team that did the recommercialization of LSDPC, that started Lekki Phase 1, Lekki Phase 2, and the lot of things they did. We couldn't do that much. We just started the bricks, the foundation bricks with LBI, Ogun State, what's it called? Gateway Mortgage Bank. Yeah. We can stimulate external capital to really do massive housing projects. I'm looking at a minimum of 100,000 houses in Ogun State. 100,000 is just 5,000 houses per local government. And then with proper estates, so that you don't have Ilaro rural area and then Ogbere rural area. 5,000 houses, people will be happy to live where they are. But supported with the network of economy activity, you see that people will be able to do whatever they have to do. So that's basic. But when you are building houses, you are building roads, you are building rail, and you have power and water, what does it matter? You need to have people who can service it, who can even build it themselves. That's why we need to have rapid human capital development to make sure that people definitely immediately get jobs. So then we then turn to economy itself, because economic development is a major issue. I've talked about security, human capital development, infrastructure, the economy. We need to be deliberate about the economic development. What we've been doing before is what we call derived economic development. You build routes so that it can facilitate economy. You build this so that it can attract foreign investors. You need to be deliberate about the economy you want to play. The world has gotten to that stage now. Dubai did not just become Dubai because of they created a hub for the world. And they chose what they wanted to do: entertainment, financial services, technology. We need to choose where we want to play. And we have defined it. We found it. The 5 areas that Ogun State needs to develop its economy around without even asking for so much foreign investment: construction, sports, entertainment, agriculture, technology, and services. Each one of them has potential income that can be derived from that. There are 16 between 16 and 20 trees that are in construction itself. So if you can fund construction and there is demand, people are flushing into Ogun State from Lagos. But are we meeting their housing needs? We just have what they call owner developed properties. Mass developed properties have economies of scale. But you need to be able to build the case to attract those kind of funding that will do it. Not necessarily by the government, but by partners that know that there's economic potential in what we are doing. But you need a lot of financial credibility to back it up. So that is construction. Sports, for example. With First Stadia, with First Stadia that we had, and with the record that we have built on managing competitive sports in Nigeria, and with the talent that we have. Look at Ijebu, Toby, Oshikoya. Quite a lot of people have made the mark in the world in athletics from that area. Isn't that something in the gene that says that people should be coming to that area to get talents in athletics? With a world-class stadium that was built there, now left now for parties and whatever they're doing there. With 4 good stadia, which will build up quickly, and we can even quickly brand. And we wanted to start it. Get people, we call it corporate branding. People will take over those buildings. Like they took, in Manchester, what these people did with their building, Emirates or whatever. So we can have those kind of stadia, and we can even, why can't we create a local Ogun State League and push it up? push it out into the world with television and begin to run a series of economies around soccer. What is Manchester thriving on? Just two football clubs. So on sports alone, and that's just one. One of our indigenous is doing so much on marathon. We have Oleg Bame here with this. So we can be, today it's about the model and the business model around it and the activity and the hype you build around it with the credibility that you are using to drive it. So we can do so much with sports.
All right.
Entertainment today, the best singers, the best songs are from Ogun State indigenous, both in the past and now. The best the Nollywood people are from these states. Why can't we actively promote festivals around them? Actually promote activities around them. They said you want to reflect an economy, create events. We have such things, but how much are we creating? Are we supporting it? How can't we create cultural troops in every local government and they begin to have festivals that will beam to the rest of the world? There is so much we can offer through our culture to the rest of the world that can get our people employed. Dancing alone, you know what it can do. So those are areas that people are not seeing. Agriculture is a different matter. We have a big market in Lagos. Where is the food coming from? And we have arable land here. And we cannot structure our economy in order to make that happen. Somebody was telling me about how many cows are killed in a day. Where do those cows come from? Vegetable, how much vegetable they eat in a day? We feed ourselves and feed our neighboring population. They don't have land there. We have land. But how are we structuring it such that we can serve a market? So the whole of the economy now is not about, we hope that private players will come and play once we produce the enabling environment. It's to have a clear design, business design, with good output and impact and output, income and impact that will translate directly to the economy of that state. But that economy modeling is what I've not seen. And where you lack economy modeling, nothing happens.
All right, let's
so then we now go to two other things. Leadership development itself. We build here, both in the civil service and the political side and the political. You know, I ran a political academy before. I already started doing it now for the Labour Party. We have what we call the Academy of Politics and Governance. Because we realize the capacity for people to think in the way by which they can create the kind of economy and governance that is required. It's not resident. So, and these are not innate. They have to be learned. So you need to deliberately build the leaders that will run the present and prepare for the future. Because these young people that are coming, that are saying they want to vote, it's their time. You need to prepare them. And then you now come to digital transformation. That's quite obvious. Because nothing we are doing today that cannot be done digitally. So I call it SHIELD. But we can expand it. I can spend the whole day talking about it. My people can even talk about it. But what we say is that we cannot use 19th century thinking to run the 21st century. And those levels of thinking that we're talking about is what we are putting in place. So there's no way to not cascade to wealth. There's no cascade to well-being. Because we have studied other countries. Rwanda, everybody is going there now. What do they have? They went through war that we went in our lifetime. Even Dubai that we're talking about. Even Taiwan, Korea. So we've studied all of them and we're saying, what is it that they're doing differently from us that we don't have? So we are tapping into our own intelligence. We're also tapping into the global intelligence. And Ogun State people everywhere, just like Nigerians are saying we want to be in Nigeria, they are supporting whatever is happening. And they want to say what they just want is somebody who is receptive of ideas, who is brilliant in himself, who is experienced, who is exposed, who has credibility, who has integrity. And you cannot, check out. You cannot see somebody that's better than us.
All right, let's take one or two calls because of our time. 0704 400 1067 0817 444 1067 0817 555 1067 0705 050 1067. On WhatsApp, we have this message. Good morning, Boyega, my dear friend. Kehinde Shogun, I quite agree with you that modern politics goes beyond rallies, singing and dancing and so on. But the fact still remains that you need to visit the 236 wards, 20 local government areas, 9 federal constituencies, and the 3 senatorial districts in Ogun State and see for yourselves their various challenges facing the people. Or what you have been saying were the achievements of Otumba Gimga Daniel's administration. You are yet to state categorically what you have for, we've covered that now. Said in addition, do you have the financial muscle to tour the various constituencies earlier mentioned? lastly, when are you going to resolve the issue of your party with INEC? And then he said, what a brilliant idea from our guest. My question is, where will you get money to execute all these laudable ideas in view of the debt profile of Ogun State? Okay, do you want to...
No, let me just answer that. You see, the first one, the people talk about, when they want to run away from a problem, they expand it. They think it's beyond comprehension. 2006 words, local government and all of that. Let me tell you something. Everything depends on the... See, when I say it now, people think your party does not have a structure. If you know the structure that constitutes Labour Party today, you will know that we have more than enough structure. And I'm a master of what I call mega systems and systems thinking. And how does Shell operate? They operate with people. They divide the world into Europe, Middle East, Africa, and Americas. They have key people running those things. And they have a template that you need to roll it down. The 2006 was the 20 local governments of Ogun State today. Our support groups have 33 support groups in them. Our coalition of support groups have 33. They are covering all the states already. NLC, that's a part of us. TUC, that's part of us. As 43 unions, another 33 unions, all working, all in Ogun State. And now we have media. Before we used to have 1 or 2 media. How many do you have in Abeokuta alone? Talk less of Ijebu. How many states has within 2 months we got into the consciousness of Nigerians? I'm telling you, once our ticket is confirmed, I'm betting you within 2 months, within 1 month, everybody will be singing, talking about Kehinde Shogunle.
And then talking about funding.
And I'm just saying that already we are doing things. Already we are in touch. I can see the whole of Ogun State in my office. I can see the whole of map of Ogun State today. So I don't need to even see it before I know that what's happening there. We have Google Maps. We have GIS and all of that. I can see even the houses, the structure, the roads and everything. So I know, and I'm not a stranger to Ogun State. We have people, so we can see, we can do the mapping, we can do everything that can be done and say, look, this is what's happening here. And we can even design what should be happening there. So it's not a question of running around because you have all these things at your back.
You're talking about funding?
Funding. You see, all this I'm talking about, you see, the first thing the state has to do is to make sure that you boost the economy. And when you boost the economy very well, you see funding for the campaigns, first of all, and funding for the governance. I'm telling you, if you know the profile and the credibility that we have, all of us are trading, and what people have said they will do, because it is me, you will not, you marvel. I'm just taking this, but I'm just taking things easy for us to solve a major problem in the politics of Nigeria. I'm proving a point that we need to build, as we are building democracy, not just about winning, but to have, I mentioned it before, you may not understand it, you may not get it. It's what we call electoral quality and electoral integrity. The role of institutions. What are the institutions? The role of political parties, the role of INEC itself, and the role of the political players. We all think the election rigging is only by the candidates, or even that the elections are rigged by the candidates. But there's a whole lot of dynamics going on pre-election. And some of us are not bending about what has to happen before we get our ticket, because we know we have done a valid primary. Right. And we want to make sure that we have a robust electoral process that can guarantee that anybody can win election in the future.
All right, let's take...
I'll still talk about the fund issue.
Hello, good morning.
Hello?
Good morning.
Hello, good morning, Genga.
Good morning.
Yeah, my name is Jide. I'm calling from Aregbe.
Jide from Aregbe. You have a minute. Please go ahead.
Yeah, I must commend your guest there, Mr. Kehinde Shogunle, the Labour Party candidate. And I want to say emphatically that sincerely, I'm also one of the obedient, because I believe that this is the time to change the narrative. I don't believe in this and all those stuff that we talk about the APC candidates. That's the fact. Now, my question is, as much as Obi is relevant in the national, how consistent is Kehinde Shogunle in Ogun State? We've not been seeing much of him. Though I'm not busy, I come once in a while. We've not had much of him, and I'm aware they had this issue with the court issue. How far have they gone with that matter to resolve it, that we can see their visibility and, of course, their impact? And knowing fully well that sincerely, this is the time for Nigerians to change the narrative.
All right.
So that is my concern. How active are they? Like somebody was asking local government wards and all that, and he's saying that they have different whatever. But my take is that as much as we are seeing Obil everywhere, we are not seeing much of him because I'm aware there's an issue.
All right.
In Kogi.
Thank you very much. Let's take one more call so that you can wrap up. Okay, on Facebook, we have quite a number of people commending our guest this morning, but we have this one, Tayo Ademola Adeniro, who says, good morning, Mr. Gwe. I love to see Alagba Kehinde Shogun there this morning. So can you give us 3 major challenges we are facing in Ogun State and what you are going to do about it in case you are favored? Well, I think we already addressed that. What gives you hope or confidence that election is going to favor you? What percentage can you give the present administration in Ogun State and Buhari in terms of Nigeria economy in particular? Osi Daniel say new eagles are beginning to be unleashed to take over Nigeria politics. The best thing that is happening to Nigeria now is the Labour Party. Ogunyemi Kayode says greetings to His Excellency and special greetings to the anchor. Just to draw your attention to the fact that our distinguished incoming governor, all things being equal by God's grace, is an amazing comrade and an economic expert that knows his onions in the field. Well, thank you very much for just a number of people here giving you commendations. Santarian Akiola Olorantimi says, good morning. I pray we shall get it right. Our cultural heritage must not perish. Go to Ipokia local government and see many culture, the likes of Egun, Anogo, etc. On WhatsApp, Balogun from Abeokuta says, good morning, Splash FM. Mr. Kehinde Shogun is a tested and trusted personality with proven track record. So Ogun State needs people with intellectual ability like him to drive us to the promised land. Unfortunately, the present political space in this part of the world is too hot for people like him because KS is not likely to play the dirty politics being played in Nigeria. We have just about a minute or two left on the program.
Thank you for all the commendations. I know the people are expecting us. They may try to hold our hands, but we know we are unstoppable. And I know, and what we believe is that with capacity, competence, and character, what we have promised and what we know can be done in Ogun State to unleash it to its true potential, we will achieve. I'm very sure of that. And forget about whatever is happening now. It's a step that we have to take. It's a process we have to follow. And we are proving a point, and we are going to prove that point. We are going to get on the ballot.
All right. Edwin Abayomi on Twitter says, brilliant submission from Mr. Shongule. May I ask if he's ever going to work with his former boss, OGD, again?
We sit on. Okay, it's my boss. It's in the Senate. I'm going to be here. So it does with national. And we can have collaboration. You know what it is. We're still working for Ogun State,
All
you know.
right. All right.
We're still working for things. He does the things. He knows the things we can do. So if we need the national attention, we can always push it to him because we know one way or the other. We are also building on the foundations, some of the foundations he has laid.
All right, I would like to sincerely appreciate you, Honorable Kehinde Shogun, for your time on the program this morning. Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much.
Unfortunately, we didn't have enough time to uncover so much. Maybe I will have another time to talk about some of your plans.
You know, once that this thing is out, I will play more role. I'll come around on the media so that people can know some of the things we can do.
We'll expect
Thank you so
to do
much.
that. Yeah. My name is Boyega Olaniyi. I'll see you again next week, God's willing, on another edition of this program. Enjoy the rest of the weekend.
Thank you.